Welcome back to Dano Does Things. My name is Dano, and if you have been watching my videos, first of all, thank you very much, that's awesome. Second, I am not just some hands floating in space, I am a whole person. This week I am doing a needle felt painting based on a dream that my mom had. I know, it sounds crazy, but it was a really good idea. I think it's going to turn out really cool. We're going to use some needle felt painting techniques as well as some 3D felting techniques. I'm also excited because I just got a brand new felting surface and it is much bigger than my old felting surface. So this is the new felting surface. Huge, awesome, so much room for activities. This is my old felting surface. Clearly a bit of a difference, but I am very excited to give this one a try, so let's just get into it. Hello, it is me, VoiceOver Dano. We will start this project with a sheet of white craft felt cut to your desired size. I'm putting mine in this frame, so I cut it accordingly. We'll need a lot of variety of wool colors as well as a felting needle. I've got a multi-needle tool and a single needle as well. As we get into this time lapse, I'll remind you that needle felting is a craft that takes patience. This is sped up like 8 times speed, so I don't bore you too much, but in reality this project took me about an hour to complete, so never let editing on YouTube discourage you. Things take a lot longer than we show. Alright, the first thing we are working on is the background, which will be a blend of light and dark blue wool. Is it water? Is it sky? That's up to you. The first layer is focused on getting a thin coverage of color all over. It's okay if you can see some of the white come through for this, it'll add to the variation, but you just don't want it to look patchy. Remember to pay attention to the edges too. Even if you're framing it, you don't want obvious gaps at the edge. After that, we will add stripes of dark blue. We will be adding light blue again over top, which will lighten the edges and make it blend more easily. This is to just give some depth and dimension to the background. Before you move on to the next step, check your piece from all angles to make sure you don't have any big gaps and fill them in if you do. Now give the piece so far an overall felting to reduce some fuzziness and secure the wool to the felt and to make sure the edges are tacked down properly. Then a quick matcha tea break and we will start felting our bulrushes. The bulrush leaves, or reeds, will be dark and light green and we'll want them to all look like they're slightly swaying in the wind. So pick a direction that the wind is coming from and lean all your bigger stems towards the other side. Try to vary up the length and size of your leaves. I personally always struggle with making things look random. Like, have you ever painted stars in a sky and when you look at it, it's like the wrong kind of random? I'm sure someone's done a study on that somewhere. once you've put in as many reeds as look the right kind of random, put in much taller and skinnier yellow stems to put your bulrushes on. You can then once again give your piece a go over with your multi-noodle if you have it and trim off any excess stem from the sides. Now we're moving on to the bulrushes themselves, which will be the 3D part of our piece. So we'll start by shaping them not directly on the felt sheet. It's easier to make the shape by taking a piece of wool about the width of how tall you want your bulrush to be, and then rolling it before carefully shaping it between your fingers and felting it into a round cylinder. Keep moving the shape around so it keeps its roundedness. To attach, lay your wool tube where you want it on your felt sheet and carefully felt at a heavy angle along the sides. This will tuck the wool of the tube under and into the felt sheet. You don't want to felt too much directly from the top or it'll get flattened. After that, make 2 more tubes that are each slightly smaller than the last. Now we will add the characteristic bulrush fluff. We don't want to shape it too much beforehand or to overfelt it. We want this part to be loose and, well, fluffy still, and like it's being caught in the wind and just about to be blown away. We can even add some blown away bits on the wind. Finally, a last once over before we frame it, without the glass of course, so we can highlight the 3D nature and texture of this piece without smushing it. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Happy felting, and we'll see you next week. What do I do with my hands? I'm also